Hi, my name is Haley Staudmyer. I'm a first year in the Department of Earth System Sciences in the School of Physical Sciences here at UCI. I'm a first year, so I'm kind of doing classes right now, but I've also got my hands in two different projects. The first one is about taking weather data in Ghana, Africa, and comparing it to pediatric hospital admissions, and trying to find links between what kinds of weather causes what kinds of adverse health outcomes for kids. And the goal there being that we could maybe come up with a better early warning system for extreme heat in all of sub-Saharan Africa. The second project that I'm working on is this advanced model for predicting heat health outcomes under different temperature and humidity scenarios. So we hope that we could take existing global climate model data and say anywhere in the world we can look at 2100 under which possible greenhouse gas emission scenario, how livable or survivable will that place be in comparison to where it is now. This model that we have also differentiates between different age groups, and our population on the whole is getting older because of improvements in healthcare, which is a good thing, but that means that those populations that are more vulnerable to heat will mean that areas will have worse impacts on health outcomes for heat if you factor that in. When I was in high school, I read this very long blog post about electric vehicles and how they are the future, which inspired me to write an English essay in my English class about how climate change is a big deal, and it just kind of spiraled out of control from there, and I decided that climate change was what I wanted to do for the rest of my life, which I'm very lucky that I found that out as a teenager. I was also struck by the fact that not everyone around me thought that it was a problem. I grew up in Columbus, Ohio, or a suburb thereof, and so I was like, this is just science, and yet everyone seems a little bit either confused or distrustful of what's going on, and so I ultimately chose to go get an education because I wanted to educate other people about what I knew and help to cross those political divides that have cropped up around the issue. I have found my Ph.D. program here in ESS to be very welcoming and very nice. I went to undergrad at the University of Washington in their atmospheric sciences department, which was awesome. I loved everyone there, but everyone was very laser focused on atmospheric sciences, whereas here in Earth System Sciences, you really get that interdisciplinary sense, which I enjoy because climate change is such an interdisciplinary problem. You can't just look at the atmosphere, you need to look at the ocean and the people and the rocks and everything. You need to look back in time and forward in time. So having it be this just confluence of lots of people in one place, I think is really contributing to my development as a more well-rounded scientist. There's this great quote that I heard very recently by Brian Beveridge, who's the co-director of the West Oakland Environmental Indicators Project, and he said that up until the last decade, climate change tended to be a white, affluent issue about saving the rainforest and the polar bears. It hasn't had deep relevance for people trying every day to get by in urban centers. Most of the messages of climate change are about eliminating global greenhouse gas emissions and not about people. And I really like that quote because that's exactly what inspired me. I like polar bears, I like the rainforest, but I want to know how this affects people because I realized in Ohio, that's why people around me didn't care or just dismissed the issue. We need to show people that the thing that's right there in the name, global warming, that is what's going to affect everyone in this very real health sense, which is why I love my research. I think it's directly relevant to everyone. And we can show people with it that this matters and we need to do something, not just reducing greenhouse gas emissions, but also preparing for the future and adapting to this new world that we're headed towards.